I'm Mark Green, and I'll take you on an unbelievable ride meeting inspiring automotive enthusiasts. These are the movers and shakers, industry leaders, racers, builders, and the drivers in the automotive industry and car culture. I'll reveal their passions for automobiles and much, much more in their career choices and their personal journeys. Together, we'll unveil their triumphs and tragedies, successes and failures, and drive deep into their lives as they share their stories. You get to ride along with me on the inspirational journey, and together, we'll put the pedal to the metal here on Cars Yeah! So I'm here in Plano, Texas to visit a podcast guest of mine, Jack Griffin, who's developed an incredible facility called Garages of Texas. In fact, he's doing a whole bunch of them all over Texas. And he gave me this very cool GT3 Touring Porsche to drive around in today. What a guy. So I'm going to pull up in front of his garage. We're going to say hi to him, and I'm going to take you on a very cool inside tour into some of the other people's garages here. They own all these spaces. They're ultimate man caves, if you will. So here we go. We're going to have some fun. All right, this is cool. I don't want to get out of this thing, but here we go. I love this car. Jack, I found you.
Welcome to Garages of Texas.
Oh man,
Welcome to Texas.
Well, thanks. I'm so excited to be here. This is really cool. You know, ever since you were on my podcast, I said, I got to come out and meet this guy. You are so much fun to talk to. And the fact that I'm here now and you're going to show me around your garage, but also some of these other incredible garages today, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. We're going to go see some really cool, a real nice variety of garages.
Yeah, absolutely. But first, before we do, you've got some of my favorite cars here. 356. 914-6, very cool. Some old Carreras, a Speedster, and you're a Porsche guy.
I'm a dyed-in-the-wool Porsche guy. I bought this one 43 years ago.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
That's very cool. And you loaned me your new Touring, GT3 Touring.
Yeah,
I really appreciate that.
The old and the new.
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
Well, thanks for letting me cruise in style here in Texas.
Yeah.
Well, let's start with one of your favorite garages here. I know they're all kind of your favorite, but we'll go and kind of cruise around and meet some of these very cool people here. And then later, we're going to sit down and talk about how this whole concept was conceived by an old racer, a guy who used to sell a bunch of real estate, and now he's just having fun in his garage.
Perfect.
All
Let's
right?
go do it.
Lead the way.
Okay.
So Jack, you're going to show me some really cool places today, but you picked something kind of special for the first one, right?
I did. My friend Jim, he has a sort of the ultimate man cave garage.
Right.
This is Jim's garage, and it is really, really special.
Oh my gosh. Oh man, this is incredible.
Pretty amazing, isn't it?
It's, yeah, this, you come from the outside that is very nondescript and simple, and now you're in one of the ultimate man caves. I mean, the decorations, the spiral staircase. So this is a good example of what you can do, right?
It is. Jim did an amazing job paying attention to a great deal of detail. He's a real detail guy. He's got a lot of memorabilia, and this is the perfect place to store and show your memorabilia.
I heard he's got a really cool man throne bathroom in here that's all Ferrari. Let's take a peek at that.
He's got a great bathroom. It's like the ultimate gearhead bathroom.
There you go.
We've got, of course, a urinal. That's required.
Yeah.
We have Ferrari tiles on the walls.
Wow.
We have great art. It's sort of everything for the gearhead.
So the idea is you can do whatever you want in this space, right?
You absolutely can. The sky's the limit, and we see everything. You can just have a real basic garage, or you can make it the ultimate thing you could ever dream of.
So aside from a cool bathroom, every custom garage needs a place to wash your hands or make a drink or keep your suds in the refrigerator or work on cars. I mean, there's everything you need here, which is cool. But I want to go upstairs because there's even more up there.
The upstairs is really neat. You'll enjoy that.
Okay, lead the way.
Okay.
This gives me the idea that you can do even more by creating a mezzanine, right?
Yeah, you really can. The mezzanines are a really nice part of the garages. A lot of people put offices, like this is a nice relaxing office area, bathroom with a shower upstairs.
A shower.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. And just a great place to relax and very functional. So with the really tall ceilings, there's plenty of room for the mezzanines.
This is really cool. Well, we've seen this space, but you got a lot more to show me today. what's on the agenda next?
Mark, the next one is a totally different direction. We'll go over to the Sons of Thunder Motorworks garage.
Sons of Thunder.
Yes, and they actually are hands-on. They restore cars.
Okay.
So we'll go take a look.
Let's go see the Sons of Thunder. Lead the way, my friend. So Jack, what is Texas without a truck? And what a truck this is. Sons of Thunder, eh?
Absolutely. This is a great truck, and you're going to love this garage.
All right, let's go. Oh man, this is a cool shop.
Oh, I want to introduce you to Dr. Bad Brad and Dr. Mustang
Mark,
Mike.
how are you?
Now wait a minute, you guys are doctors. Okay, what's going on here? Because this looks like a working shop to me.
Well, it is a working shop, but we're both in a semi-retirement stage of our lives.
Okay.
And so for this season of our life, we're just going to do the things we like to do. And we've known each other since we were in 7th grade. So this is what we like to do. And we were doing it back in the 60s, and we're still doing it.
That's so cool. Now, what kind of physician are you?
I'm an anesthesiologist.
Oh, okay. Well, no one's going to fall asleep here. That's for sure.
You never know.
You never know. How about you, Mike?
I'm a dentist.
I got a crown here I need to have redone. You lay me back in this GT 500.
We'll get the
here a
Dremel
little bit.
tools out and work it
Dremel
over.
tool, wonderful, wonderful. You know, this is the great thing about Garages of Texas, because I was just in a shop that was kind of more showy, I guess. Really beautiful place. But you guys get actual work done here, right?
We do real production here. We do comprehensive restorations, and mostly we like American muscle cars.
I
But
think so.
we've got some Euro sport stuff, and we play with Corvettes and Porsches and things Ferraris from time to time. But Carroll Shelby figures prominently in our shop. We like a lot of the things he's done. We've got this 65 Daytona Cobra.
Nice.
Really a nice car and
Oh, yeah.
super fun to drive. Just a couple thousand pounds and 400 horsepower.
Absolutely. So
Really nice.
Well, take us around your shop a little bit.
Sure.
So lead the way, gentlemen.
Come on.
So guys, I mean, everything about this shop is so cool. I'm looking at the decking here, which you told me came from a railroad boxcar, which is cool.
floor, yeah.
A floor, but the memorabilia, where'd you come up with all this stuff?
Flea markets, some off of eBay, some just at regular old garage sales, and
love it.
just about any place I could scrounge stuff up. If it looked old and rusty, then I could see in my mind that I had a place in the shop
And that's
for
why
it.
you brought Mike into the shop. Older.
Yeah, he's pretty crusty.
You guys met in 7th grade at the bike rack, you told me, which is pretty cool, but you've been buddies ever since. And I love the fact that you turned this Garages of Texas into a fun shop and into a place that you can get away from the seriousness of being physicians and come and play. And play you do. I mean, I see some motorcycle engines here. You guys do serious work here, right?
Yep, absolutely. You know, we do restorations, complete restorations, build motorcycles, you know, just whatever needs to be done, we'll do it.
It's very cool. So you have a lot of projects going on in here, but one that caught my eye was this little sunbeam, because I had a friend in high school that had one. And of course, bright red is pretty cool. So tell me a little bit about this.
That bright red is the original color. It's called Carnival Red. And this is a 64 Sunbeam Tiger that I found intact in a junkyard in Henderson, Kentucky.
Oh my gosh, what a find.
It was a great find because I'm really partial to Carroll Shelby, and his influence in this car is unmistakable.
Yeah.
In fact, when I was having it authenticated, we learned that this is one of the first 50 Tigers ever built.
Really?
So that has really been interesting, and so we've been treating it with the utmost accuracy and originality whenever possible.
Wow.
But eventually, this little bitty light British car had a Ford V8, a Ford top loader transmission,
Yeah.
and a Ford rear end under it, and the driving experience is exactly like having an original Shelby Cobra.
Well, you mentioned old Carroll Shelby. There's a car sitting over here, a GT 500, that I want you to tell me about, because it has a little history with Carroll, right?
Yes, it does. I was lucky enough to meet him and actually ended up having a meal with him and then took him for a ride.
No, cool. Well, let's go check it out. Lead the way, Mike. So Brad, you told me there's some pretty cool things, some history here with Carroll Shelby sitting in this car. What is that?
This is one of my favorite cars, if not my #1 car, just because of its originality. 67 GT 500, and I was blessed enough to meet Carroll Shelby and spend time with him. I even gave him a ride in it.
In this car?
In this car, right where you're sitting, Carroll Shelby sat.
Oh, nice.
And not only that, he was really gracious enough to sign his autograph on my dashboard, and I have photos back in the days when we actually used film.
Okay, I remember
And
those
I have
days.
photos of him signing it.
Yeah, this is very cool. What does this car mean to you, Mike?
Well, this is Brad's baby. He's had this car since the middle 80s. He completely restored it, and you know, it's just a beautiful car. I
Yeah.
just love that car.
Pretty nice. Well, one other thing I want you to show me before we go to the next garage, this little race car sitting behind me that also has a famous guy that's sat in that car.
Yes,
And maybe
it
we
does.
can fire that up and wake up the neighbors a little bit?
Yeah, the greatest part about our garage community is when we fire something like that up, everybody comes out of their garages to see what's going on.
Okay, well let's make a little rumble, okay? I heard some thunder last night. We're gonna make some thunder in the garage here. So.
Well, we are the sons of thunder.
Are the sons of
There you
thunder.
go.
Absolutely. All right, let's check it out. You got something pretty special here. IROC, International Race of Champions. A car that's been driven by some very famous people. Mike's a very famous guy too. He's in there. But tell me a little bit about the drivers in this car.
The first gentleman that drove it was a man named Dale Earnhardt Sr.
Oh, I've heard of him.
Yeah, I thought you might have. And then it was also driven by Bobby Labonte a season.
Wow.
And then Mark Martin in its last season won an event with it red and the number 12.
Wow.
Which is why we still honor it.
This is
And
cool.
Mike and I take this car to the track and we make a lot of thunder and have a good time.
Yeah, you wake the neighbors up, I'm sure. But Mike, I wanted you to just fire this up and give us a little throttle blip, okay? Holy cow! Oh my God! Oh, I'm gonna need a
that'll wake everyone
defibrillator. Yeah, I'm awake now.
If that doesn't get your blood going, nothing.
Nothing will. You know what? You guys have been really generous with your time today. This has been so much fun. I'm going to come back to Texas and spend a weekend with you guys hanging out in the shop. I really appreciate your time. It's so good to meet you.
You are always welcome, Mark,
Well, this has
anytime. And of
been
course,
great.
Jack, he spends a lot of time
I
here.
hang out here all the time.
This is his place.
He's
and,
no stranger.
And Mike, thank you so much.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, this
Enjoyed
has
it.
been really cool. So, Jack, where are you
Yes.
taking me next?
Well, we're going to go across the street, and you're going to see some really nice Grey Poupon vintage cars.
Oh, great Poupon.
Yes, we'll go to Fred's garage, okay?
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Well, guys, thanks again. It's been great. Lead the way to Fred's garage.
Okay,
all
here we
right.
go.
Here we go. See you guys.
See ya.
See ya. See you, Jack.
Bye.
Bye, buddy.
Bye-bye.
So, Jack, this is a very different kind of shop with some very cool cars.
Yes.
Gentlemen.
Yes.
Hey,
Hello,
Jack.
Fred. How
How
you
are you?
doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Meet Bar Green.
Well,
Fred
my
Cornwall.
pleasure. I've heard about you.
So, well,
Nice
thank
to
you.
meet
So
you in
good to
person.
meet you, too. Thanks for inviting us to visit your garage.
Well, it's my
and-
pleasure.
And a garage,
My pleasure.
indeed, this is. You know, I wanted to talk a little bit about the cars, but first I wanted to talk a little bit about the camaraderie that's happening here. You've met a lot of friends as you've lived here, right? This is, or
Oh,
you've parked your cars here, I should say.
Yeah, you know, Mark, it is really a good social place. We have 54 owners between the 69 garages, and we've got some of the best people in this community. So there's a real camaraderie. Everybody understands each other.
Yeah.
One thing I like about the car collecting is that I don't care whether you've got an old pickup truck or a new Ferrari. There's a common basis there.
Yes.
There's a
Real connection.
a connection between people.
You know, I've learned that after interviewing, 1,300 people now on my podcast. It's all about the people, really. The cars are
Yeah.
just a catalyst to bring us together. But you have some very unique and special cars here. Of course, some of the Porsches that Jack and I love, but I see 3 Rolls Royces here that are pretty darn cool. Can you talk to me just kind of a little bit
bet.
about each of these cars?
Love
Let's
to.
start with the one in the middle here, because this one I saw when I drove up this morning.
This car was built in 1926.
Wow.
It was built in Springfield, Massachusetts. Rolls-Royce built in the United States.
A lot of people
Most
don't
people
know.
Most-
Yeah,
yeah.
but that happens,
But
yes.
from 1920 to 1931, Rolls-Royce had a factory. They closed it in the Great Depression. This one, this was in 1926. It's a Silver Ghost, which is the last of the car that made Rolls-Royce famous.
Right.
Rolls-Royce drove these cars thousands and thousands of miles and they didn't break down. Where everybody else in that era was having breakdowns. You know, the engine would fail, something would go wrong. And Henry Royce was the Royce of Rolls-Royce. He designed every one of their cars, every feature on their car until 1933 when he passed away. But he was a true genius.
It's beautiful, it's beautiful. This car over here is quite special too. I know because your buddy here told me a little story about it.
Well, that's a very rare car. It's definitely one of one. It's referred to as a 1933 Rolls-Royce Phantom II Continental drop head coupe. But what makes this so unique is that the lady that ordered it was one of the wealthiest women in the world. Barbara Hutton was her name. Her grandfather was F.W. Woolworth.
Woolworth
of the
department stores.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
At one point they had 3,500 stores around the world.
Wow.
She inherited that stock from him. In today's dollars, she was a billionaire. She was very wealthy. She ordered this car for her first husband.
Wow.
When it was an engagement gift.
Okay.
And because he was a pilot, there's so many things on the car that are unique. It's got an altimeter, it's got a rate of climb, it's got a lot of gauges that the Rolls-Royces simply didn't have in that era. The fellow that I bought it from owned the car for 46 years.
Wow.
He was a teenager in the 50s in London with his family, and he saw this car parked on the street, and he left his family, walked down the street, looked at the car, he came back, he said, I'm going to own that car someday.
I want that baby, yeah.
In 1971, he's married, he's living in Connecticut, he's a businessman. He subscribes to the London Times, and he sees this car advertised
Oh my gosh.
in the London Times.
The same car.
Same car, he bought it. He and his wife went to London. They registered it in London, which is kind of unusual, and drove it around England for a while, and then shipped it back here in the Queen Mary.
Very cool. Well, I really appreciate you letting us come into
What a
your
pleasure.
world.
Well, it
This
was
has
nice
been
to see you.
fantastic. I'm going to poke around a little bit, and then I'm going to take this gentleman over to a special place to sit down and talk about what he's built here and teach our viewers a little bit more about all that. But thank
Good
you
deal.
for
Mark,
your
the
time
pleasure is
today.
mine.
This was really great.
Good to meet you, and nice
Thanks,
visiting
Fred.
with you.
Yeah.
Jack,
Fred,
always a
thank you
pleasure.
very much. Absolutely.
All right. So Jack, you have shown me an incredible day today, but I want you to share with our viewers a little bit more about you, the guy behind this, the brainchild. I know you're a co-founder, but your history goes back to being a developer. So let's start there and then move forward into how this whole vision came to be.
I actually started out as a young person, 26 years old, working for a very large real estate development company, Trammell Crow Company.
Oh, yeah.
And I was developing office buildings when I was 28 years old.
Wow.
And after 12 years, I stopped doing that and got involved driving race cars. I've always been a car fanatic. I've been passionate about the car hobby, all kinds of car activities all my life because my dad was a mechanic and so forth. So over the years, I've been involved in real estate development, the car hobby to a great extent, and I found that I really enjoyed anything related to the car hobby a lot more than developing office buildings.
Yeah.
So I had the idea really about 12 years ago, along with a number of other people around the country, that the car hobby had evolved to a point that it needed real estate to do its hobby. So being in a community of like-minded car enthusiasts was very appealing to me, not only to have room for your cars, but to associate and spend time with other car people and share your hobby with other people. And what happened was a longtime friend of mine, Fred Gans, who is a self-storage developer, we got together really 4 years ago to actually execute the concept, along with his son, Sean Gans, and a fellow named Mark Scott. That's our team, basically, and we're doing all these projects. So we built these basically as shells, and people had to finish them out themselves. So that gave people the flexibility to be creative and just do all kinds of things, which you saw some of the things today.
Incredible.
They're phenomenal.
Yeah.
And so we learned what people like in their garages. So our new product that we're developing now incorporates a lot of that, evolution of thinking.
Sure.
And so we're including things like mezzanines, air conditioning, sheetrock walls instead of metal walls, so you can decorate it like a home.
Right.
They all have plumbing, and so it's just a really good product. A lot of different sizes. We've done completed two projects, sold them all before construction was complete.
Fantastic.
It's amazing. And we have 4 projects under construction. They're almost sold out, and we're getting ready to start construction in Houston, Austin, San Antonio, and going into other markets as well. And it's a fun thing to be doing it. At my point in life, I have no idea about retiring. This is the most fun thing I've ever done.
Well, you've learned the secret sauce to life, and I've talked to so many people on the podcast that I have, and they all say the same thing. If you wrap your passion for what you love, in this case cars, and the people you've introduced me to today, they've all had a reoccurring theme. They've rediscovered meeting people, becoming friends with people at their age, 60, 70, maybe even older.
Yeah.
And this has become a family type affair here. I love the fact that proof of concept came true. You're selling out before you begin construction, or before you end construction, I should say. I think it's just a brilliant idea. I love the whole concept of it. I want to encourage our viewers to research you guys if they are lucky enough to live in an area in Texas here, and I think maybe there might be a future outside of Texas for you guys too, right?
No question about it. I mean, we want to be outside of Texas as quickly as we can,
Nice.
because there's some phenomenal markets that are very underserved.
Oh, yeah.
And we all love spending time here. You saw it. I mean, you never see a frown in our communities. No one frowns.
No,
it's
absolutely
they're
not.
having a great time.
Well, it's been a fantastic day. I'm so glad that I came here to visit with you. I'm going to come back and hang out with you guys.
I want you
think-
to do that.
Yeah,
I really appreciate you coming.
no,
This
it's
is
been
just
fun.
awesome. Yeah.
And thanks for sharing the whole concept here. I think you see nothing but a very successful future for all of you guys down the road. It's been fantastic.
Thank you so much. Thank
Yeah.
you for coming.
You're welcome. This has been great.